Hello, PascoMath grade 7 teachers. Today we're going to look at 7.EE.2.3. We're going to unpack the standard, look at some um, things the teacher could be doing in the classroom, as well as some things the students could be doing, and look at misconceptions and how we can address those. So let's go ahead and get started. So the standard itself says solve multi-step real-life and mathematical problems posed with positive and negative rational numbers in any form. Those include our whole numbers, fractions, decimals, using tools strategically. Apply properties of operations to calculate with numbers in any form, convert between forms as appropriate, and assess the reasonableness of answers using mental computation and estimation strategies. That was a lot. All right, so an example that they give in the standard is right here, and it's nice when they do that, right? So if a woman making $25 an hour gets a 10% raise, she'll make an additional 1/10 of her salary, which is $2.50 for a new salary of $27.50. Another example would be if you place a towel bar 9 3/4 inches along the center of a door, that is 27.5 inches wide, you'll need to place the bar about 9 inches from the edge. The estimate can be used as a check on the exact computation. So again, they show us how a problem posed with converting, and then also a problem using estimation there in the standard. So to unpack that, students solve multi-step real-world problems and math problems. They should contain a combination of rational numbers. And students will be expected to check their work for reasonableness using estimation strategies, such as they could round the values in the problem up or down, and then adjust the estimate to make up for that closeness of the rounded values to the originals. They could also use compatible numbers for the values in the problem, allow for common factors for multiplication or easy addition, such as grouping hundreds and thousands. They also can use benchmark numbers that are easy to work with, such as using 2 for 1 7/8 just to make a reasonable estimate. So some things you can do as a teacher. So you need to pose a variety of multi-step problems to solve, including problems with integers, fractions, decimals, percents. The percent part will be, for Unit D. Pose questions that allow students to convert between fractions, decimals, and percents, and encourage the use of rounding, compatible numbers, and benchmark numbers to check for reasonableness of results. So as math people, we always say, we need to check for reasonableness, and the standard actually is calling it out, like, yes, you do. So some things the students could be doing. They need to solve those multi-step real-world problems with precision. So that's Math Practice 6 opportunity. Even those estimations, they have to make reasonable estimates. Select an appropriate estimation strategy and apply it to the problem. Justify the estimation process by explaining orally and in writing how it's proved, how they prove their answer to be reasonable. If the estimation did not show an answer to be reasonable, explain how that helped them lead them to the correct answer. So again, if their estimation strategy said, showed that they were way off, then that's awesome, and that's a strategy we want them to always use. So some common misconceptions for this standard would just be students have difficulty with the multi-step problems. So when there's a lot going on, lots of steps, sometimes they get confused along the way. And so when needed, I like to emphasize when needed, scaffold the problems by adding a question maybe midway, and then eventually stripping those questions away. So a good example would be if we were in the percents, dealing with percents. Like, let's say Ginger goes out to dinner and buys a pizza that costs $12.75, and that includes 50 cents tax. She wants to leave a tip based on the cost of the food. What must Ginger do? And so, the steps to solve that, we need to figure out the original price. Then we need to figure out what percent tip is reasonable, then actually, apply that percent, add it on, or, there's a lot going on, lots of steps. And so if students are struggling with all those steps when needed, you can just, pose a scaffolding question like, how much did the pizza originally cost? Trying to get them to realize $12.75 minus 50 cents. So they're working with a $12.25 pizza. And then from there, another scaffold question would be, what percent tip would be reasonable for pizza? Is it takeout? Is it dine-in? Does it matter? Does that make it different? And then have them apply finding the percent at that point. So that's just an idea for students that struggle with the multi-step piece. that's it for the standard. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or your regional specialist, and thank you for making PascoMath more awesome.